All right, for the second part of segment 1 today, we're going to just peruse through some of the equipment. I bet you this video gets the lowest views, but we need to look at Dungeons & Dragons Rule Cyclopedia equipment because you're going to want to gear up the character, and we're going to talk about how you get your money as a starting character. We'll look at how things cost. Maybe even, I can't remember if we're going to talk about coin as a unit of weight. I cannot remember if that's in this chapter or not, but yeah, we're going to look at a few things here, but ultimately we're going to breeze through it unless something really catches our eye. So let's take a look right now. All right, once again, we got our cover on there. Heathen Dog had to step away for just a moment, but I'm going to get motivated here, and we're going to look at... Okay. So money. Some quick notes on money in the D&D game. Ooh, zoom in all the way so you guys can see it. Starting gold. Beginning characters receive a one-time sum of 3d6 times 10 gold pieces. I'm one of those weirdos who I get really irked when people just say take max gold. I have rolled 50 gold before and had to figure out, yeah, you got to figure it out. A bad game master says, well, you're just going to die then because you don't have everything you need. No, how about actually run a decent adventure? No. Maybe you can either scale things better, or maybe the characters have to think a little more tactically because they couldn't afford all the best armor. Maybe that character who did roll 180 can donate some to the character who rolled up 30. I generally roll, I don't know why, but I have this really weird thing where I almost always roll 100. Like right on the dot. I don't even get the 112 or 100, the 120 that I want. It's like almost always 100. So I'm on the lower end there, but still, it is what it is. Roll the money. It adds to the fun of building your character over time. Growth, character growth. It's about levels. It's about getting new abilities. It's about the skills, and it's about getting better gear. And you know what? When you start with nothing, you have nowhere to go but up, right? Roll that money. So it represents the money saved up by the character before he embarked on his adventuring career, or the money given to him by his family before he left home. Should be spent on weapons, armor, and equipment. The DM may have recommendations as to what the character should buy. Hey, you're going to be fighting some lycanthropes. You might want to take something that's made out of silver or holy water. Just a suggestion.
And if anyone remembers from the character creation episode, I have 150 gold. My thief. Let's see how much that can spread that around.
The game commonly uses the following abbreviations: platinum pieces, gold pieces, electrum pieces. Almost everything's going to be done in gold pieces. There'll be a few that are silver and copper. Very rarely do you see platinum or electrum. I love it when game masters actually use platinum and electrum in the game. I don't know why I do. I just do. Not as primary, but as the rare currency that they are, even though it's a 5 math instead of a 10 math. But and it gives you the conversion here. 10 copper is 1 silver, and you go all the way up to 500 copper is 50 silver, which is 10 electrum, which is 5 gold, which is 1 platinum. So there you go.
It's like pulling out a $2 bill. You're like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, right? Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Weapons. Most characters want to carry one or more reliable weapons. The weapons table shows weapons available in the D&D game. Some of these weapons have special effects that are some of the weapons in the table. What? Some of the weapons have special effects that are... Some of the weapons in the table look very familiar to one another. I think there's a typo here. But some of the weapons often... But these weapons often demonstrate substantial differences if you also use the optional weapon mastery rules described in the next chapter. We'll talk about weapon mastery next week. I love it and hate it at the same time.
Okay.
I mean that. It is an awesome idea, but it really gets basic Dungeons & Dragons out of the scope of being basic. I would rather play 2nd edition AD&D with its specialization than use weapon mastery. That's just a personal opinion, but it definitely adds benefit to the fighter types. Okay. And I think you should use weapon mastery if you're doing this. Anyway, so it's going to give you the name, damage. We're not going to talk about it.
It's pretty self-explanatory, really.
So let's look at some of the weapons. For a basic game, it's got a pretty good chunk of
weapons.
Good
selection, yeah.
So nothing in here really, it stands out. It's got a torch. So if you want to use your torch as a weapon, what's that?
Werewolves and vampires be damned.
There you go. I like the fact that I put a torch in here because somebody's going to do it, right?
Yeah, because a torch is a weapon if you're desperate enough. It is.
And it has the specials of CRNS. Let's just see what CRNS are so we can look. I don't know what CRNS I
A
have
lot
no
of things
clue.
have CRNS.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Clerics may use it, so that's C. So clerics too.
Druids may too.
Yeah. A weapon can be thrown, but is rarely used that way. So only characters at the expert or greater level of weapon mastery can throw the weapon in combat.
Fair. Yeah, a torch. I would think I wouldn't hit a whole lot of things in combat with a torch.
And then capital S was small. It's a small weapon.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, it was also a little S too, right?
Well, in this one, it was just capital S. I was just looking at
okay.
torch. It was capital S. I like this. I like, because it's defined below. Instead of a long paragraph that I have to read through, I like the fact, because once you pick like 3 or 4 weapons, you're going to start learning what all these letters are anyway, and you can go on. So I like the way this is set up. You said it showed off a silver dagger. Look at what that thing costs, though. 30 gold.
30 gold for a silver dagger? It's made. Oh my God, come on. Never mind.
Notice that pole arms do about the same damage. A tusk shields cost 200 gold.
Tusked? What the hell's a tusk?
It's got a big tusk on the front of it, so you can use it. Bah!
Okay, what about shield sword? A sword shield.
It's got a sword on the front of it, so you can go bah!
that doesn't make any sense. If someone says I have shield comma sword as my shield, I would think it was a shield with a place to put your sword.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in a little bit. Okay. I mean, there's nothing in here. It's cool that it's got bolas in here, so tripping. So I bet you that M, ST, and M. So let's look at ST and M. We already know. Oh no, this is different. This is a little S. Mm-hmm. This weapon has special features. Read the weapon description. Lovely. T.
Yep, so the special features for a bola would be the tripping and tied up and all that stuff. Yeah.
This hand weapon may also be thrown. I think that's the expectation with bolas. So okay. And then it's a medium-sized weapon. Got it. Sure. Special effects table. We didn't look at any weapons that had special effects, so we're going to skip that, but it's there. And ammunition. Okay.
Shield, comma, sword. Let's see it.
Yep, I'm trying to blackjack. Bolas. Well, there's your bola. Wow, bola is a long write-up.
Yeah, because it does multiple things. It knocks people down. It keeps people tied up. You're going to have rules for all that. So I get it.
Sword, two-handed, spear.
Shield.
Where's shield? Oh, here we go. Here are the shields. So, sword shield, a medium-sized shield with 1 or 2 sword or spear blades projecting from the sides if it's round, or its ends if it's oblong.
Oh, okay.
So you use it sideways.
It's not going straight out. It's going to the left or right, up or down or whatever.
Yeah, so you just flip it 90
you
degrees.
Can use it as a raking thing, like go like that. Okay. I can dig it.
All right. Well, so those are the weapons that you can do. So then it has non-standard weapons, which are optional. We are not going to look at those right now. Let's check. This will be interesting to some of the folks that play like AD&D. There isn't a lot of armor in this game.
No.
Goes so shield, whatever your AC is. So let's say you have scale mail, and that's AC 6. If you also have a shield, you'll have AC 5. And remember, lower is better.
Yes.
So that's how that works with the shield. So, and there aren't multiple numbers for the shields. It's just 5. Now it has a note of a D. A druid can use this type of armor if it contains no metal parts, so he can use an all wooden shield. Got it. But there you go. Suit armor in like our vernacular would be full plate.
Yep.
But notice that goes all the way down to 0.
Yeah.
Boom. Cool.
And the cost is dramatically more than.
You're not starting with it.
Yeah.
Encumbrance, by the way, that's 750. That's in coin. Basically 75 pounds. We don't need to do descriptions there. What do we have here? Barding, so you can get some animals. Talks about movement right there. Definitely adds to encumbrance. That's, get a draft horse. You won't be moving fast, but it will go through. The mail will go through. And then you can armor up your animals if you want. And we got basic adventuring gear. That's where you're going to buy most of your stuff when you're starting off the game. Of course, you're going to want a backpack. All this stuff is useful at some point or another. Some people swear by 10-foot pole. Some people swear by pitons. Some people, it's got to have that rope and grappling hook because you watch too many movies.
Every gaming group has found a small, innocuous item that everyone carries because it has so much utility. In mine, it was chalk.
Yep.
Chalk. And then before that, it was string. Before that, it was
Apparently, somebody does dungeons where you can get lost.
yeah. So chalk is very important to mark passages and stuff like that.
The thing is, I don't find that to be overpowered because, and I say this, maybe I'm a dick GM, but I don't do okay, you make it back to the entrance. I do the whole thing. Okay, how are you getting back?
Yeah, have you been writing it down the entire time?
Who's drawing the map?
Yeah, who's making the map? Someone made the map. Let's show me the map. Oh, no one was, huh? Oh, well.
Now, I warn people about that during sessions.
Yeah.
And then I also tell people, you don't have to write it exact, because I don't have time for you to be like, oh, was it 10 squares or was it 12 squares? No, just draw it out as big as you think it is, and you'll be fine. As long as you draw something. But that chalk definitely comes in handy when you have to find another way to go, or you write on the wall, don't go this way, gelatinous cube, whatever.
Or, you need an X or an arrow or whatever. Yeah. It's just easy to know. I turn left, I turn right, I don't go there, stuff like that. It's easy to know. So chalk for our group ended up being the one you need.
Yeah, for my groups, there's always the 10-foot pole. Because they didn't want to. But I also slowed down that movement right to nothing. Like, okay, that's all you do is tap, 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 tap. Well, some things take body weight, folks. Sorry, not the pole weight, but, it was still good for them. And of course, you're gonna want some flint and steel and tinder, in order to start fires. So, but there you go. There you go. You can buy one bunch of Wolfbane for 10 gold because I'd mentioned lycanthropes, right?
Because that silver dagger is too damn expensive.
Just throws a Wolfbane out.
30 gold for a silver dagger. That silver dagger is probably made out of 20 silver. That's a hell of a markup, man.
Hey, you got to make a profit.
That's a hell of a markup.
You also had to put some steel in there to actually toughen it. Otherwise, the first time you hit something with it.
Whatever.
I know. I'm glad there aren't rules like that in the game. Anyway, if you need some transportation to go across, certain ways of the map, you can buy that as well. And
if you're going from one major town to another major town, there are trade routes that are relatively safe that you can just buy a carriage for passage and just go. And not have to worry about it. And when I really hate the game masters who are like, okay, you bought passage in this caravan to go from here to here, but you still got to bring your own food and water. So no, I paid 100 gold for this passage. Food and water is included. I don't have.
It depends on the situation. I think most times you're right, but there are other times where it's like, we'll take you, but you got
My example was big city to big city. Established trade route.
Hey, usually at that point, the characters are being hired on to work and protect the ship. They know you're adventurers at that point. Yeah. So you've already earned your food and water.
Well, yeah, but maybe.
And believe me, I'm going to have an encounter for you.
Well, yeah, I don't want that. I just want to pay passage and get from A to B. That's all I want.
Yeah, that's not going to happen in my game. You're either working or there's going to be an encounter anyway, so you're going to be working.
Nah.
No, let me phrase it.
I'm not being paid to save any of these people. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then when the ship goes down, you go down with it.
I said overland travel. I don't do boats.
Well, talking about boats, here we go. We've got galleys, lifeboats, rafts, and you can buy, in case you want to own your own.
You want to buy your own?
I want to buy my own troop transport.
Sure. 30 grand.
Yeah, but look, it's 600,000 capacity in coin.
Yeah.
That's 60,000 pounds.
Yep.
I'm in.
Siege
and
equipment.
Then, so yeah, how much it's going to cost for you to
First
book
class,
passage.
second class, third class. Yeah, I get it.
You can buy
Meals
siege equipment.
Included.
We will be talking later on, I don't know what week, but next few weeks we'll be talking about siege warfare. Here you go. You can buy the siege equipment if you want to buy a trebuchet. It's only 24,000 encumbrance because you want to carry it on your back. Now, if you want to put it on that ship, though, that's going to take up 24,000 of its encumbrance.
Of your 600,000.
But it gives ranges. Look at that, 500. But its minimum is 100. You can't just drop it on somebody in front of you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Unless you sabotage it and it self-destructs by hitting itself.
Then it just falls. Damn, look at that, though. D12 plus 13. Ouch.
I believe that's area damage, too.
It depends on the stuff you put in there. It can be, absolutely. So 4. Oh, so belfry, shed, hoist, ladder. What is a timber fort? I don't even know what that is. Ladder, mantlet, timber fort. Timber fort is a heavy wooden wall built in sections. Is movable only with difficulty. Oh, so it's literally a fort.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. It's just a whole bunch of logs strapped together to form a wall.
Yeah, for some reason I wasn't putting together that these were walls. So
Okay.
weapon. Okay, weapon mastery will be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be next week. So that's basically it. The point of showing you this though was you can basically buy anything generic. If you want something really weird that you saw in a movie, well, sorry, your game master's just gonna have to make that up. But it's got passage, it's got ships, it's got your siege weapons, it's got the basic crap that you would need. Anything beyond that, just figure out a good price. It actually, does this one also go into uncommon, common? I thought it did. It does not. But yeah, find all types of stuff in here to get your character started, and then what you get after your adventuring days. Don't be afraid to talk to your dungeon master about stuff that's not on this list. At the same time, stay relevant to the setting. Where there's Hollow World.
Exactly. You're like, well, where's my Bic? I'm sorry, man. No, there's no Bic pens here. You could quill or nothing, buddy. Sorry.
Right? Sorry, they don't know how to make chalk here.
That would suck.
Yeah, right. But and if you start with these costs here, you'll get a baseline of what you want it to be. Maybe add a few more gold onto it because it's rare.
Sure.
Yeah. But use your imagination, but at the same time, here's a nice baseline. One of the things I like to do in my games is when you go to a new location, I will roll randomly to find out if there's a percentage. I don't do this constantly. Like if the character's like, hey, we need some basic stuff. I generally, especially if it's between adventures, I don't generally do this. But if you got your head like, oh my god, I need a damn backpack. Okay, it's probably a bad example. We'll go with it. Or let's use your silver dagger. I need that silver dagger. That silver dagger might cost 20 or it might cost 40. That 30 is just a baseline for me.
Yeah. Well, there are problems with this chart. There are problems with this chart that the game master got to fix. By problems, I mean zoom in to garlic.
All right.
Just zoom in. It's right there.
Yep.
Garlic.
5 gold pieces.
5 gold pieces for garlic? Shut up, dude.
Let's find out. Let's see if there's a reason why. Close, grab garlic. This is an aromatic herb that repels vampires and some other undead monsters. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it does that, but you know what it mostly does? Flavors food. It's a spice. It's like salt. All right? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's 5 gold pieces garbage. And 25 gold piece for a grappling hook. It's curved, it's curved iron. Shut up, dude. Shut up. No,
I would go with that. I would go with the 25 gold pieces for the grappling hook.
Yeah.
But
some of that is wrong. Like 5 gold pieces for common clothing. A peasant doesn't make 5 gold pieces in a month. But they gotta have clothes on to do their job. So I don't know what they're gonna do. There's a whole bunch of naked folk out there in the fields.
Well, again, we have to look at the description for some of these as well. Plain clothing is just 5 silver.
Oh, silver pieces. Okay. Yeah. Middle class clothing is 5 gold. I don't think middle class is 5 gold is right either. But
yeah, but okay. I think you're comparing too much to real world Middle Ages. This is Hollow World or Mystara. So
I understand, but damn, man, that seems like a lot, especially for garlic. 5 gold pieces
the garlic
for garlic.
thing,
Dude, I just want some flavored bread. All right.
Maybe in Hollow World, garlic is something that doesn't grow well. I don't know. So, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I think that's too high as well. But until I would dive into the Gazetteers, which I only literally own one of, I wouldn't know why that is. But anyway, personally, I wouldn't adjust the chart because I just think that that's part of the setting. And I think that setting trumps everything. But if you're trying to make it more maybe realistic to real world Earth, I get it. If you've got your own setting and you think that silver should be worth a lot more or garlic should be worth a lot less, whatever, just make those adjustments. As long as your players are aware of it, you're good to go.
All right. We got one pinned comment here. I'm an electrician. Conduit comes in 10-foot sticks. I know it's a game, but 10-foot poles are ridiculously unrealistic to be carrying anywhere. That is true. It would be unwieldy to say the least, but this is a game. The only real carrying penalty is encumbrance. So, mechanically, you just go by encumbrance. And a 10-foot stick is not heavy. I mean, it's a 10-foot stick. It's not overly heavy. So technically, you can carry it.
Yeah, they treated it just in my groups. What they did is they just kept tapping walls, tapping ceilings, tapping whatever. A long time ago, I used to love traps. I don't use them so much anymore. Well, let me rephrase that. I use basic traps now because I'm sorry, I don't like Grimtooth's traps. Things that turn buildings upside down, anti-gravity. No, I'm not. No, nope. But
this is a good one. Pizza sauce must cost a fortune, and vampires. This is a conspiracy theory. Put on your tinfoil hat. Vampires actually control the garlic market to make it so prohibitively expensive that they don't run into it all the time.
There you go.
That's exactly what happened. I believe that. Where's my hat? I believe that.
All right. Okay, well, really isn't much else to talk about equipment on that one. What are your thoughts about the price of garlic? And by the way, if you make a comment on this video 2 years after it posts, I'm not going to remember asking that question. So timestamp it or say what you're referring to. We get a lot of comments like that nowadays where people be like, no, I disagree. I think it should be up, not down. What is this person talking about? I don't know. It's been months since I did that video. I'm not going to remember this video 2 hours after today's stream. So, but with that said, no, I appreciate everybody's here. We've got a lot of people watching, and that is awesome. I appreciate everybody that is here. Comments have been... or the chat has been moving pretty quickly. And I look forward to seeing those comments. I hope you guys had a fun time. And guess what? Next week, we talk about combat or weapon mastery, and then we're going to dive into general skills. And, are they non-weapon proficiencies or not? I don't know. We'll find out next week.